Welcome to Trivia Ronin. I'm your host, Matt McNelly, and whether you're joining us live on Zoom or Twitch or after the fact on YouTube, welcome. We're happy to have you. Quick breakdown of the rules. 1, we're an honor code trivia here. You keep your own score. Feel free to cheat. You get nothing. And 2, after each question, you're going to get 35 seconds to answer. Do not show your answer until the time is up. And for those of you on Twitch, answer with about 5 seconds left. That lines up with us. We do 35 seconds on Wednesdays because y'all are smarty pants. This is kind of hard this week. I'm going to warn everybody. Without further ado, however, 30 questions, 20 of them visual. We got a story at the end that's about the Olympics. Welcome to Olympic month at Trivia Ronin. Without further ado, question number 1. It's Latin. An amicus curiae brief offers information to a trial judge that may not have come up during a case. What does amicus curiae literally mean? It's a Supreme Court question or just a regular court question. You may have heard the term amicus brief. If you haven't, probably won't get this one. But it's a brief from somebody not related to a trial that tells either the judge and or the jury things about the trial that might not have come up. It's like an expert witness, but you don't have to show up. 2, 1, if you don't know them, don't worry about it. But show them. I know. Question mark. Grand jury's a great guess. Anyone on Twitchies? Nope. The answer is friend of the court. It means a friend of the court brief. It's fine. I just wanted to drop one in from college to use my degree for once. In The Godfather Part 2, Fredo is shot, spoilers, during a fishing trip on what lake? 35 seconds. Sorry, guys, if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, alas, Fredo makes it through 1, doesn't make it through 2. Michael calls it. And then just when he thought he was out, they pulled him back in, as they say. 3, 2, 1, of course, QVC got it. Winnipesaukee is my favorite name of a lake. However, it's Lake Tahoe. We were just there. They go from Vegas to Tahoe. That's where they are. Question 3. Which U.S. president was also an architect? 35 seconds. Only one of them was. Out of 40, 6? Are we at 46 now? 47? One of them went twice. But only one U.S. president was an architect. Which one was it? And it took until 1997 to put him in the American Architecture Hall of Fame. But he was building things before that. 2, 1, show him. Anybody know? It's on a bill. Eisenhower's a good guess. Hoover's a good guess. This one you're going to kick yourself for. Thomas Jefferson. Remember, he built Monticello and the University of Virginia. In case you're wondering, he is an architect. Question 4. The 70s show Kung Fu. Master Po refers to Kane by what nickname? What's his nickname? And you don't have to have seen the show Kung Fu to know this one. This might be the only thing I knew about this show. And I didn't even know it came from this show. That's my hint. Kung Fu. Master Po referred to either Keith or David Carradine, depending on what time it was. He was the master. And Kane was a young blank. T-Girl's here and she got it. Miyagi's a good guess, but Grasshopper. That's where it comes from, Kung Fu. And that's me not doing an offensive accent. It comes from Kung Fu, Grasshopper. That's what it came from. Question 5. In 1977, Tunisian immigrant Hamida Janoubi was the last person to be executed in France. What method was used to kill him? 1997. T-Girl, welcome. Good to see you. Coming in with a correct answer. Big Kung Fu fan. In 1977, Tunisian immigrant Hamida Janoubi was the last person to be executed in France, and by that I mean executed by the state. Put to death. In 83, they abolished the death penalty in France. My cooking. How dare you? I'm actually a good cook. Come at me for a lot of things, QVC. Don't come at me for cooking. Question 5. Oui, chef. Bored to death's a great Twitch answer. Of course it is a guillotine. Yeah, good job, everybody. They were still using the guillotine. I mean, why change it if it worked for 300 years? Question 6. Jimmy Rogers, Fred Rose, and Hank Williams were the inaugural class in what Hall of Fame? 35 seconds. I gotta be honest, I only knew one of these names, but the name I knew gave me the answer. Oh, hi, Tara. Ladies and gentlemen, Little Caesar's own Tara Erickson here on Twitch. I hope you're getting paid every time it comes up on my YouTube, Tara, because I'm seeing you a lot if you haven't been seeing me. We're seeing you a lot here at Trivia Ronin headquarters. Yeah, you got it, T-Girl. Yep, QVC, you got it too. It's in Nashville, I believe, and it is the Country Music Hall of Fame. Pizza, pizza. Pizza, pizza indeed, Tara. Rep your squad. Question 7. In the arcade classic Pac-Man, what is the first bonus fruit you encounter? 35 seconds. One of them fruits jump out. Yeah, I figured it was a buyout. That's fine. You always got to rep the company that paid you last, though, which is why I drink Diet Dr. Pepper. I drive a Volkswagen. What else I do? I watched a Netflix show that's already canceled and drink Bush. I've done other commercials, right? Anyone? Nah, who cares? 2, 1. Guess it. Always good to be working, and you look great in it. Yes, it is the cherry. Cherry's the one that pops up first. Good work, everybody. Cherry, Chicka Cherry Cola. Question 8. In 1953, an expert jury was convened to declare the correct pronunciation of what Southern California city? The mayor called for a special committee. What show? Oh, the Bobby Spencer thing I did. That was for a show called The Crew, Tara. Which was a Kevin James show on Netflix that's already canceled. Came out 3 months ago. I mean, nothing's canceled on Netflix. You can always watch it. I think the problem was nobody was. In 1953, an expert jury was convened to declare the correct pronunciation. Welcome to one of those questions that I just put on there because I enjoyed it. Yes, many knew. Los Angeles is correct. Yeah, 53. Everyone was saying Los Angeles. And finally the mayor had it and said no mas. And it was declared Los Angeles in 53. Good job, everybody. Question 9. Which Egyptian queen was stepmother to King Tutankhamun? And really for this one, you just, I mean, if you know an Egyptian queen, well, sorry, you probably need to know 2 Egyptian queens. If you know like a Roman Empire age Egyptian queen, that's too late. But there's another Egyptian queen, fairly famous. Steve Martin would know it. King Tut. Ain't nobody remember Tara? Well, the 2 people below you did, and so did Larry. Nefertiti. Queen Nefertiti, that one. Stepmom. King Tut, just 13. Really just famous because his grave didn't get robbed. Pedro Julião. Hope I got that right. A Portuguese priest was chosen as Pope in 1276, choosing the name John the 21st. What was the problem with that name, though? 35 seconds. That's not how you spell Portuguese, is it? They are always right, Tara. Thank God, that's why we keep them around. Oh, excuse me. The priest Pedro Juliao in 1276 got poped. Got straight up poped. Picked John the 21st. What's the problem with that name? T-Girl, not a big Pac-Man fan. Smart move, Tara, honestly. Those would be the ones I'd call on. And anyone figured out? Yep. 10's a good guess. But QVC, yeah. It was not used already. The problem was there was no John the 20th. They went 19 to 22 was the problem. I mean, there's sort of, those were sort of your two answers. So no John the 20th. Oops, I already did this. Let me talk to you first. Hi. Hello, it's me. And now I'm going to go to the screen that says we have 3 minutes. I'll see you all in 3 minutes. Tara Erickson, commanding lead, -2. See you soon. Bye. Depending on how old you are or how old your offspring is. You never know. Question 11. In the children's book, Goodnight Moon, what animal is being put to bed? Who's good nighting? Who's good nighting? What creature? I know. It's hard because it's not on the cover. I can see the cover in my mind. Fireplace, bed, obviously a moon. Very true. I feel like Bartman could have been, the Pirates mascot at some point. Could have just full time. Guy just listening to the radio. Anyway, question 11 is, good guess, QVC. Mouse, a good guess. It was a rabbit, guys. I know. And actually, it was a sequel to a book about a rabbit that escapes and runs away. And then that rabbit itself is going to bed. I think it's called like Runaway Rabbit or something. Anyway, I learned something today. You did too. Question 12, Bible alert. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, while also being a Beastie Boys refrain, famously survived what in the Bible? It's a Beastie Boys song called Shadrach. They don't really talk about what Shadrach did, but if you read your Old Testament, these three survived something. Something that kind of like echoed through Christianity, sort of an image that would come up again later. I don't know if that's helpful. It's probably not. Anyway, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They're all friends. Ooh, good guess, everybody. And that should be right, but they survived the fiery furnace. They were in a furnace. I think some king put them in a furnace to burn, and they didn't. Thanks, God. Question 13 on Desperate Housewives. What was the name of the deceased narrator? There's a D in there. What's the name of the narrator on Desperate Housewives? See, I'll throw you a Bible, and then I'll throw you a Desperate Housewives. You know what I mean? I'll just keep you here. Also fair if you have no idea. I don't know this one. This week I tried to do some questions that I didn't know, and I think it's backfired because I think they're hard. On Desperate Housewives, the ABC television show. Narrator's dead. It's a little How I Met Your Mother situation. I hope somebody knows it. If not, it's a wash. It's fine. Anybody on Twitch? I mean, great guess. I'll give you a half point for Diane just because it seems like it should be a Diane. T-Girl, no idea in a row. Mary Alice Young was the character's name. There you go. You know, she was, I don't know, her husband is thought to be a murderer and yada yada. There's a whole thing. We're done with Desperate Housewives questions forever. Question 14. The native name for this famously petite instrument translates to jumping flea, and by instrument I mean musical instrument. QVC, my question would be, is Queen's Gambit a true story? And I would have gotten it wrong because I thought it was. And I'm not good at chess. I'll do some chess questions next week. I mean, when the regulars ask for it, you got to do something. The native name for this famously petite instrument translates to jumping flea in the language of which you know it. T-Girl got it. Ooh, good guess. Real good guess by Larry. But T-Girl got it. It's ukulele. Ukulele. A piccolo is famously petite. I will not argue with that. But we were looking for ukulele or a small guitar. Question 15. This German physicist who invented the first radio antenna is the namesake for the scientific unit for frequency. All frequencies. Visible, spectrum, the radio, gamma rays, AM, FM. That's your hint. They're all called by this unit of measurement. Also a guy's last name, as tends to be the case in science. QVC, you got it. A lot of rental car fans out here, I see. Nailed it. That's a Hertz Donut right there. Hertz Donut. Nailed it. Hertz. See, we're back, everybody. That's an all skate. I'm glad to see one of those in here. Question 16. Let's stay smarty pants. This Greek mathematician wasn't always right. Like when he led a cult where he forbade the consumption of beans. If you were in his cult, couldn't eat beans. Smart move. Probably bad farts back in the day. Also, if you told the secret, you'd be put to death. Real secret society. But this Greek mathematician wasn't always right. You're gonna love that joke when you see the answer. Sometimes I write a question. Sometimes I write a question. QVC, oh no. Good guess, I've heard of him. But yes, of course, when you're referring to things that are right, you're probably thinking right triangles. You're probably thinking Pythagoras. Famously attached to right triangles. Question 17. Iceland declared its independence from this nation in 1944. A nation that still owns its green counterpart. 35 seconds. Again, I'm throwing quotes in here. I'm throwing some punny questions out there, guys. We're having a good time. People of Earth, enjoy this question. 1944, Iceland gained its independence. Greenland has not. 2-1. What's that country? The Kingdom of... Yep. QVC's back on track. Kingdom of Denmark, of course. The Danes. The Danes owned a bunch of stuff before we realized they owned a bunch of stuff. Yes, everybody got that one. Question 18. The now iconic KISS logo for the Detroit-based band was designed by what guitarist? 35 seconds. And I'll give you a hint. It's a guitarist attached to the band. Big hint. It's not Eric Clapton. There's not another guitarist making money off of the logo. 4 seconds left. An easier question. Who plays guitar in KISS? What's his name? 2-1. Simmons is a guitarist, but he's not the lead guitarist. He's more of the singer. You're looking at Ace Frehley's the name of the guitarist in KISS, if anyone's ever wondering. Now you know. He's the only other one I know. I don't know the rest of them. 2-pointer. What are the 2 countries in the world whose English names contain the letter X? It's okay, T-Girl. We really don't need to know about KISS. It's really not our problem. Unless you're in your late 40s. You don't have to give a shit about KISS. 2-pointer. 2 countries in the world that have X in their name. What are those 2 countries? In their English name. Because, like, in China, they don't spell China, China. They spell it in a different language. Mexico and is right. Ooh, Larry got them both. Well done, everybody. Mexico and Luxembourg. Benelux, Luxembourg. And we're hitting question 20, and I'm thrilled about this one. Richard Belzer played Detective John Munch on Law & Order SVU, but the character was originally recurring on what 1993 crime drama? Who knew this? Mexico and. Kind of Lux just ain't for us. Isn't it crazy? John Munch was on 14 years of SVU and 6 years of a show prior to where he spun off into SVU. What was that original show? It was David Fincher. David Fincher, am I saying? No. NYPD Blue. Everyone had the right guess, but it was the NBC version of that. NYPD Blue was CBS. The NBC was called Homicide: Life on the Street, with Andre Braugher and Detective John Munch, which makes him 93 to 2014. That character existed. Also showed up on 30 Rock, and Parks and Rec, I want to say. There's like a bunch of random things when Munch is shown. Anyway, that's 20 questions. Anyone who's brave enough, throw your scores in the chat. You're all doing great. I'm proud of everybody. You got 3 minutes. We're going to come back and do everybody's favorite Wayla.
Disney princesses.
What do you look at? Things you can stick up your ass that are nutritious, and Black history.
Hey there, welcome to Trivia Ronin.
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 I'm your host, Douglas Larlam, and I'm not wearing pants.
As of August 2019, what is the top grossing film to hold an MPAA rating of G?
It's gonna be a nice, quiet, intimate show.
She murders deaf children right after they get cochlear implants.
Don't ever forget I can kill people I think about.
We make up for it by being less creepy than Drew Carey.
Shit's going down on Twitch.
It's like 4 dementia movies. I wanted to watch them, but I forgot. Remember movies in theaters when they made money? That was the thing.
I'll make love to you.
Am I supposed to? Wait.
Saturday night and you're on Twitch during a pandemic. If you're not drinking, you're doing it wrong.
It's a cat toy on a reusable straw.
Fuck with that algorithm.
This is Doug's tie, by the way.
You almost don't need a gunshot to die.
Doug, you think we'll get a lawsuit out of this one?
I don't care.
Don't fuck this up, McNelly.
If you guys were as fucking dumb, I'd be better at this as a host.
It was Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4. That came out in 2019. When was that? I have this great headphone hanger now. Emily made it. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, Emily. Always a pleasure. Any news? Throw it in the chat. We want to hear what's up. Don't worry about playing. Australian equestrian Jamie Kerman out of the Olympics. Oh no, dressage news. You're telling me dressage athletes do cocaine? Nah. No way. Seems like the wrong demo. Thank you for that news, guys. So sorry to Jamie Kerman for being a cokehead. Guys, next up to bat is Wayla, the first. That's the point, T-Girl. They own horses. They can also own cocaine. Guys, 10 questions. It's Wayla time. There's no real rhyme or reason. The first 3, however, are mildly related, and I'll explain after the first 3. But QVC up on has that Google alert for dressage. Anyway, question number 1 is this. What is this a still from? What movie? What famous movie is this a still from? You'll have a new sport to be into after this week, guys, so you don't have to be into dressage anymore. There's a different Olympic story. What movie is this from? If you want, I could play it again. Sam, nailed it. You got it. Of course, it is indeed White House, the movie. Casablanca. Casablanca. Question 2. Who's this? Who's this fella? 35 seconds on the clock. Who's this fella, member? I'll give you 10 bonus points if you still have a shirt with him and a backwards hat on it. Because I know I had one. No, I mean like him wearing a backwards hat. No extra points if you had it. If you still have, if it's in your rotation, I'll be proud of you. That's all. Because I feel like there was him. There'd be like Daffy and Fun Streetwear. 2-1. Show him. Of course, this is the now almost extinct. Yes, exactly. Or a KFC cup. It is Taz, everybody. It's the Tasmanian Devil. There he is. Question 3. Who's this handsome gentleman? 35 seconds now. You know the link. Everybody figured it out by now. Who's this handsome gentleman? Actor, star of Screen and Screen. Probably been on a stage, though, let's be honest. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I gotta believe he's on a stage somewhere. 2-1. Show him. Yes, indeed. Middle initial helps. It is, of course, Michael B. Jordan. And in case you're wondering, that was 3 answers that all made cameos in the new Space Jam movie. Spoiler alert. Question 4. 35 seconds. What sports team's logo is this? City and name, please. Yep. But Matt, why did you show Casablanca? Oh, because Yosemite Sam is in Casablanca in the new Space Jam movie. You mad about it? Why? The new Space Jam is the most obvious we are here to sell you everything that's in our catalog movie, and I'm not mad about it. It is a bad movie, but I'm not mad about it. 3, 2, 1. Guess what I misspelled? The word that none of you guys misspelled. NBA champs, Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks. Don't worry, if you spelled it CK, that's the correct way of spelling it. Congrats. I'm tired. Who's this guy? He's a mascot for something. You don't need to know his name. I'm sorry. What is this fella a mascot for? Thank you so much. Thank you, Proto Hobo. I hope you meant me and not the mascot, but I'll take it either way. Is this like a kid or an adult? I've never actually looked at this logo long enough to figure out what's going on here. But yeah. Logo for a certain company. Yeah, QVC got it. He's Punchy, the Hawaiian. I don't know if it's Punchy. The Hawaiian Punch mascot, though. That's what that is. Famous landmark time. What is it? Famous landmark. Proto Hobo coming in. Big swing to start. What famed landmark are we gazing upon? Let's see if I spell it right. Been doing some bad spelling this week, guys. Not like me. I'm usually a proofreader. Not so much lately. What is this that you're looking at? And maybe like the town it's in, but like that sort of comes with the name of it. Whatever, you'll get it. 2-1, because there were a few of these. Yeah, T-Girl, you get it. It's the famous one, the Roman Colosseum. Of course, the Romans had many Colosseums in many places, but the Roman Colosseum. This is an odd close-up shot of a ray gun, but it's actually the album cover of a certain band, their self-titled debut album. What album cover is this? Self-titled, so just give me the band or the name of the album. That's how self-titled things work. really, this band's only album cover to actually evoke what the name of this band really speaks to, which many people don't know, and I'll tell you in 7 seconds. And less. Album or band, show it. Who knows? Who's a fan of late 90s, early 2000s? Great guess on Sex Pistols. Proto-Hobo coming in strong. Of course, it is the Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters being a term for when you saw like a UFO back in the day, like when World War II pilots would see UFOs, they'd call them Foo Fighters. So it is space alien related. Anyway, what nation's flag is this? This is really a guesser, honestly, but I just really like the flag. And I'll say this, African. African country. So we can throw a dart at least to a more limited portion of the map if you don't know. I don't know what kind of bird though. Looks like a rooster. It's not the bird chirping right now. I'll tell you that much. What nation's flag is this? Sovereign flag. Yeah. T-girl. Knowing your flags. Sudan's a good guess. It's not Meganda. It's Uganda. That's the Ugandan flag, in case you were wondering. Now, you know, it's got fun colors. This is a logo for a company. What is it? What's the name of this company? It's like a 3-word name. I would prefer to get all 3, if you've got space on your papers or in your chat. Logo. This logo's a no-go or logo's a yes-go? We shall find out. Two, one. Yes, indeed, T-Girl. You got it. The full name, of course. Larry got it. T-Girl, I'll still give you a point. You probably knew this. Beats by Dre is what I was like fully looking for, but if you said Beats, you got it. Math. Math question. What geometric figure is this? What's the name for a figure? Like this. Count them. Oh, interesting. Oh, what an interesting number. Proto-Hobo just coming in and nailing Wayla. What is the name for this geometric figure? Oh, who is this? From which? Oh, this is exciting. Then we'll find out. Yay! Yay! Everybody got it. Geometry. Yep. Nonagon. Yesagon? Nonagon. That's 10, I think, right? Let's push the button. Yes, it is. 10. We're back to Casablanca, and we're back to time. Time for telling stories, y'all. So, take your 3 minutes. We're coming back. We are still in Olympic month here at T. Ronin headquarters. I'm going to tell you an Olympic story. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be a good time. See you in 3 minutes. Story time, Olympics. Not that many people have COVID yet. That's good. So we're still doing them, apparently. And so we're still going to tell heroic stories about Olympians because that's what we do. Kat, come on in. So today, we're talking about a male gymnast. Start there. A male gymnast who competed in Montreal in what year? Anyone can throw it in the chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bonus point. It was 1976 was Montreal. Would have been cool. Hey, QVC, bonus point. So this guy's from a country that was a gymnastics powerhouse. This nation had won the men's all-around from 1960 all the way through 72. This nation was unbeatable at gymnastics. His score in the all-around, we'll just fast forward to the end. His final score was an 84.55, which is not great for 5 rounds, 2 times each round. But everybody else on his team broke 100. So why are we talking about this guy? Well, I'll tell you why. All right, so first of all, let's talk about the men's event, because I feel like it takes us 3 years to forget everything, and then once the Olympics start, we all remember the rules. So I'll just tell them to you now, so you're going to feel smart once the men's all-around starts. And the women's, same rules. The worst score. You have a bunch of people competing. The person with the worst score in each event, you just eliminate that. So you have 6 people. You just ditch the worst score every time. And then you tally up the results of the other 5, add them together, bada bing, bada boom. That's how you figure out who's getting what medal. So the events always go in Olympic order, or at least have since the early, I think, the 20s or even the teens. Olympic order is as follows. You do the floor exercise, you do the pommel horse, you do the still rings, as they're called, or the rings. You do the vault, parallel bars, and horizontal bar. That's what you do in that order. Our guy didn't end up competing in the final 3 at this particular Olympics, and really probably shouldn't have after the floor exercise, which you'll hear now. So, floor exercise, he goes. He's not the best on the team at the event. He's not the worst on the team at the event. On his last pass through on the mat, goes up, does his flippy ruse, lands, hears a pop in his knee, and realizes as he lands, he goes, oh, I broke my kneecap. He sort of reaches down, he feels it's in pieces. It's in at least 2 pieces, because I just broke my kneecap. But said nothing, because his next event was his strongest one, his second strongest and his strongest events were the next 2, and they didn't take too much leg power, so he thought, if nobody notices, I can probably sneak in here and still compete and get a good score. So he gets on the pommel horse. That's the next one. As you're familiar, it's a lot of this and a lot of swinging around, so there's not too much leg work. However, the man has a broken kneecap. If he does one thing wrong on that pommel horse, if he hits that knee, he's going to be in real pain. So he knows he has to be perfect. And what does our guy do? He's perfect. He's as perfect as he's ever been on the pommel horse. He gets a 9.5. 9.5 out of 10. He's not a phenomenal pommel horse guy, but he does a great job. Next round, the rings. He's looking at the rings. He knows that's going to be a little tougher. But as we all know, you're up on the rings. You're doing your thing. Here's me doing a bit of the rings for you. You're up on them. They help you up. You can do your whole set, but eventually you have to dismount. But he said, I could probably get through this thing until the dismount. So he absolutely competes his heart out on the rings. If you watch the YouTube video of this man, he does his best routine he's ever done on the rings. Does the whole thing, does a triple flip dismount, lands, and you can see his right leg just go like, but he somehow sticks it. His left leg holds his weight. He buckles a little bit, stands up. Our guy gets a 9.7. He then limps off the mat and thinks he's going to keep competing in other things. And a doctor comes over and is like, let me see that real quick. And he goes, oh my God, you have shattered your kneecap and I'm amazed you don't have continuous damage you don't have permanent damage at this point. I don't know how you did it. Takes him out of the games. So the rest of the team knows that now all the other 5 have to get their best scores, but they decide they're going to go out there, even though they're 1 point down after that. They knew they wouldn't have stayed that close if our guy hadn't have competed. The team rallies, they hold on, and they win the gold medal for the 16th year in a row. Obviously one in every 4 years, but for 16 years, this country wins the gold medal again. Our guy gets it with him, limps up onto the thing, limps up onto the dais, gets his medal. He's inducted into the Gymnastics Hall of Fame in 2017, and after those Olympics, he served as a gymnastics coach in his home country for the rest of his career. And a lot of people sort of forgot about him until 2017 when he was inducted into the Hall. And my favorite part about this guy, because anytime you hear a sports story like this, you go, all right, what did he say in the interview, right? So they go and interview him 2 years later. Guy from the BBC comes and interviews this guy and says, if you could do it all over again, would you do it? And this man gives a one-word answer, and he says, no. And that's it. That's what he said. Absolutely not. No. The question is, of course, not the man's name. You probably don't know the man's name, but all I need to know is what country did this man represent in the 76 Olympics? 35 seconds on the clock. What gymnastics powerhouse Did our guy represent? And I'll give you his name at the end because it deserves to be said. Gymnastics powerhouse. 60 to 76 couldn't be beat. Gave his all for his country. I'll give you 10 seconds with no music. Maybe that'll help your brains. And the music comes back. 3, 2, 1. Who's got it? Anybody on Twitch? QVC. Excellent job. USSR. Excellent guess. Seems right. QVC is correct. It is this year's host nation, Japan. Our man Shun Fujimoto. Shun Fujimoto is the name. Remember it. Shun's a pretty amazing guy. And we all talk about, I know I always think about Kerry Strug here with the busted ankle. Shun did 2 events with a busted leg. So props to him. Props to Japan. Props to QVC for getting the story right. Proto Hobo, I hope I know you. I know you from school, but I don't know who you are. I guess I'll figure it out later. Otherwise, good to see everybody. This is when I do my ending spiel. Thank you so much for joining us here at Trivia Ronin as we continue to just do this thing while we want to do this thing. So thank you so much, QVC. You're the best for coming out. T-Girl, Proto Hobo, Emily, Tara. We'll see you all soon. Thank you so much. Big win again for Larry here on Zoom. We'll see you soon. See you next week. Adios. Bye-bye.